Hi boys and girls. Okay, today we're going to paint in our drawing of Blue Dog. We're going to be starting by just doing a dark outline around our dog. So on your plate you should have a dark blue paint. We're going to use that as an outline, and then Mrs. Walker will be giving you white paint for the snout and the eyes. And if we look at him, he's got a white snout. It's white inside his eyes. Those are the only two things. We're going to use it to mix and make a light blue for his belly and some shadowy blue colors. Okay, we're only going to use blue and white. We're going to be doing different values of these two colors for our Blue Dog. So you'll start by just tracing all of your lines with the blue. Okay, so just make an outline around all of your pencil lines. Remember I talked about last time that I wanted to make his head a little bit bigger, so I'm going to make it bigger. You can change some of your lines right now if you want to, because we're going to paint over that pencil so it won't even show. Okay, I'm going to go around his snout, and I'm going to go under his lip. And then remember, we talked about that his nose and the middles of his eyes are going to be a dark color. So dark, we're going to do our darkest blue in here. So I'm going to fill this in with dark. Maybe change the shape a little bit. Now this is the hardest one for me, is going around his eyes without making it that thick line. I'm going to go around the outside of his eyes so I don't make them any smaller, like that. I don't want to get inside that white part. And then I'm just going to put a dot in there. And then I'm going to try to stay on the outside of my pencil line here so I don't get them any smaller there. And then, oh, I almost forgot this line right here. Don't forget his chest line if you forgot it. And inside his ears is dark, so I'm just going to paint this in, this triangle. I'm going to paint it in dark blue. Okay, now I'm ready to do some of the medium blue, or the like a, not as dark, but a sort of a shadowy color. I'm going to take some of my white and push it to the center like this. Push some of the white to the center. I want to keep some white there in case I need it for cleaning up his snout, and push some of the blue to the center, and then stir them together so that you have a nice medium blue. And I'm going to paint in my whole dog this medium blue to start with. So I'm just going to take and go right in here, and I'm trying to be careful that I don't get inside that lip area. When you have painted in your whole Blue Dog, except for what two areas am I not going to make light blue? Think about it for a minute. I hope you said, I'm not going to paint inside his snout, and I'm not going to paint inside his eyes. If you run out of light blue, just push in some more white and some more blue and mix it up. Now this is going to be tricky here, going around his eyes. I'm just going to do the best I can. And then I don't really think I can get between his snout and his eyes, so I'm going to skip that part. If you accidentally go over a dark blue line like I just did there, did you see me do that? You see how I kind of went over this? It's okay. You can always add that in later, okay? I'm just trying to make it look nice and smooth. My line's nice and smooth here. Okay. Now I feel like I've got most of my light blue. I am ready to add in a few shadows and highlights. Okay, so shadows, when I look at his, I notice that this is a little bit darker here and maybe under his chin. So I'm going to take a little bit of my dark blue, and I'm just going to stir it a little bit more into the edge of my medium blue here, so that this is a little bit darker. And I'm just going to paint here. Oh, that's not a lot darker. I might need a little more blue. So you should be able to see just a slight, you see how that's just a little bit darker than my light blue there. Where else was the shadow? There was one like under his chin here. Kind of looks like right under his head there is a little bit darker. I think I need to mix up a little bit more. So right in here between his shoulders, that's a little darker there. Looks like the inside of his leg is a little darker, so I'm going to put a little shadow right here. So I'm looking at this one right here. Do you see how the inside is and the underneath is a little darker? That foot's a little darker, so I'm going to make this a little darker here. This one's a little darker underneath. His ears have kind of a shadow right here, so I might just put in a little shadow there. And a little shadow here. Now I'm noticing a really dark shadow under his eyes. Do you see this right here and this right here? I'm just going to take my straight up dark blue for that, and I'm going to make him have like a little shadow under here and a little shadow under here. And then he's got eyebrows. Oh, I almost forgot his eyebrows. He's got eyebrows, so I'm going to put some brows in, or what looks like eyebrows. They're probably not eyebrows. It's probably just the color of his fur right there. If this doesn't look dark enough to you, you can always make it a little darker with just straight blue, because it is kind of mixing in with that other blue. Now, I'm looking at places where I might need to take my dark blue and go back around, because I can see some places where my light blue, do you see right here where my light blue went right over my dark blue? So I'm going to do what I call touch-ups. I'm going to take the dark blue, and I'm just going to go right around areas where I might have accidentally painted over my dark blue line. Okay, I'm kind of looking, I see it mostly like here at the tips of the feet. I see a problem. This looks pretty good. Ooh, I think right underneath his mouth there. Do you see that? How I kind of lost that line right there. Right here around his snout. So if you see any areas where your dark blue line went away, just paint it back in. Or if you need to smooth something. See how that tip of my ear is kind of rough there. However, he has kind of furry. Maybe I'll make a little bit of fur right here. And he has a little bit of fur right there. Just a little. There's a little bit coming down here. Oh, I don't like that. If you don't like it, we can always, when we cut him out, you can always cut that part off. I don't know if I like that. We'll see. All right, so I feel like I'm done. When you have done all your touch-ups, then we're going to put this on the drying rack. Okay?